because first generation students, the reasons that they enter college may be different from a student who's multi-generational. So a first generation student, some that I've worked with, the reason they enter college is because they wanted to get out of a violent neighborhood, or they wanted to provide a better life for their family. So college became this way to be able to do that. For some students, hey, I'm good at a sport, so I want this to take me to the next level. For some students, I want to be a doctor, and this is my step to be able to do that. So I find, if I think about the different students that I work with, if I think about my story, is I can't group it. Certainly there's probably a stronger push for a lot of the students I have worked with. If they come from low income backgrounds, if they are a minority student, I can possibly say with those students that I've worked with, the reason for getting into college was about a better life for not just themselves, but also for their families. And so once they graduate, it does become this question of, how can I provide a better life? How can I make sure that my family is where we need to be? And that's something that I need to be able to do now that I am a college graduate, because no one else in my family is a college graduate. So now I have this responsibility to make sure that I take care of them and they're successful. I think for those students that have that particular story, that job after college can be a little challenging, because for them it may be about that paycheck. For them it may be about making sure that I get in the business world and I have the ability to really give back to my family. Not every first generation student is a low income student. Not every first generation student is a minority student, but they don't get talked about a lot. And so for those students and those stories, it just really depends, because they have the same pressure. The pressure may look a little bit different, but they're still the first in their family. They still have that responsibility. They still have those at home celebrating them and putting them on this pedestal that gives them a lot of pressure. So they still have to be able to, at the end of the day, when they're choosing that job, weigh exactly what you're saying about passion kind of versus responsibility. Now, if you can marry the two, that's where you want to go. That's the great thing. This one right here has a chance to marry the two, which I'm really excited about, to be able to do that in education. But not everyone has that opportunity or has the same type of passions that I have. And so for those students, again, it's about making sure we're counseling them, we're providing them that intentional advising, we're sharing those stories. There's this thing about first-gen guilt. I don't know if that's a real phrase, but I know it's a reality for a lot of students. And it's a real thing that we have to be able to talk with about students. I myself went through it. I know that students are going through it right now and questioning if they should stay in college while they're putting their family in debt, or while they're not getting a job and providing for their families. So continuing to have those conversations with the student is going to help them to persist. When they graduate, it's going to help them to have that foundation to also persist in a job. So that's a really good question, and I think it deserves individualized attention. As much as the research shows us about the majority, we can't let go of the individuals that are a part of the first generation student that we talk about.